Hello and welcome. Today we're going to review the Hubsan X4 Desire Pro, also known as the H216A, which is a 720p GPS brushed quadcopter that's small but has Wi-Fi FPV and is app enabled. Now the drone comes in this simple rectangular box showing the quadcopter and controller with cell phone, and it mentions the features down below. Let's open this up and take a look here. So everything is neatly packed away here. Right off the bat you see the quadcopter, and so let's pull that out right here. And then right here to the right, we have the controller right there. And then here in the middle, this box doesn't really have anything in it. Right here in the middle, we have 4 propeller guards right here. And a couple of manuals and pamphlets that are in the plastic bag. And then right here on the left we have a few more parts, and we basically have the charger here, USB charger, and then a spare set of propellers right there. And that's essentially it. Here are the core items out of the box. I did forget to mention that there is also included a screwdriver. So this is a very neat looking quadcopter. It's virtually identical to the Hubsan H502E or S, except it's black and has a different branding on it here. It says Wi-Fi and it says X4 Desire. Here's the 720p camera. It's not tiltable or anything like that, but it is a good quality camera. Has the brushed motors, and here is the SD card slot. It does not come with an SD card, and has good lights for night flying. And right here is the battery bay, and the battery is included in there. It's not plugged in. So let's take a closer look at that battery. This is a 750 milliamp 7.6 volt 15C LiPo battery. I have right here an H502E and S battery, and as you can see it's very similar, just in black, and it's more or less the same dimensions, except it's a 610 milliamp 7.4 volt. Now this will work with this quadcopter. Now this controller is really just a Bluetooth extension to your cell phone app. You cannot fly this quadcopter using this controller on its own. It's not an actual radio controller or transmitter. And while you're using the app, instead of using the virtual controls, you're using these physical controls, but this is not a standalone controller. It does take 4 AAA batteries here in the back. It does have a built-in cell phone mount, so you just flip that open very easily and then put your cell phone right in here. This is essentially your throttle and rudder. Here are your indicators that the power is on and that you have a bound Bluetooth connection to the app. This is the on button. This is the return to home button. This is the auto takeoff, auto land button. And then up here you basically have your photo button and video button. And I think currently on this side these arrows are not being used. Perhaps they're going to be used to move a camera. That's essentially it. So unfortunately this is not a true standalone radio transmitter. This is just an extension to your cellular device, so you will need a cell phone to operate this quadcopter. So that's unfortunate. So out of the box, you cannot fly this directly with this. So once the battery is inserted and plugged into the quadcopter, you will see the lights flashing and you'll hear a slight hum, as you can hear now, maybe a high-pitched hum. And so next you would turn on this controller. So you would just push this on and it turns on and you'll see the indicator. One other note, I've tried to bind some of the older Hubsan controllers to this quadcopter, even the H502E and S controllers to it, and I was not able to bind it. So it looks like this is purely an app-driven quadcopter. Once you have that on and have this on, you go into your Wi-Fi settings and you would look for this Hubsan H216A and you just simply go into that. Now I already had the password saved, but the default password is 1 through 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's saved. And now once we have that, which is this one right here where it says X Hubsan. And so once you download that, you enter the app and you'll be greeted with this selector of all the quadcopters from Hubsan, or some of the latest ones. The one you're looking for is the H216A. So you would enter that device and you would go in here. First you would do a compass calibration. So you basically rotate the quadcopter clockwise on the horizontal axis until the lights change. And so now you would face it downwards like this, and you would rotate it a few times clockwise as you face it downwards. And then the app should tell you that it's all calibrated and you should see the lights all solid. So as you can see right now, we have a feed with the app, and the way to connect this controller, you'll notice that it's blinking here on the Bluetooth. The way to connect it is you go here to the settings, and then you would go to where it says controller right there, and then you would scroll down and you would say using remote control, and then you would see it listed here on the Bluetooth devices. So once you do that, you connect, you hit connect there, and then it says connected. You should hear a beep and you should see a solid blue light. So now you can start using all the controls on the controller instead of using the virtual ones in the app. The app is very feature rich, so we won't go over all the details. Essentially you have your feed here, you have a lot of telemetry, number of satellites, voltage, speed, distance, altitude. You have your auto takeoff, return to home. You've got virtual controls here. If you touch the screen, you've got your throttle and rudder. You can record or take pictures on this side, and here are your waypoints. You have waypoints, follow me mode, orbit mode, VR mode, which is basically to put this in goggles. That's definitely the highlight here, that this quadcopter can have true automated flight here with this app, and you can program your flight path, and you can edit and view your saved media. But that's essentially it, and we'll take it up for a little flight and look at some onboard footage.